Hey, it's Brian with Blackseed. Thanks for joining. If it's your first time here, we're all about trucks, all about muscle cars. Doing a bag 65 right now. Just doing a few small details on the engine. Please hit that subscribe button. Check out some of my other videos. Just kind of doing a couple things today. I wanted to film for you a couple little tricks. So let me show you real quick what we're working with. So at the end of the day, we're trying to keep the engine pretty much close to looking like this, right? As you notice, there's no wires or anything on the front half of the engine. Everything here's tightened up, braided in the back. I still have a little work to do. The wires back here, get them tucked in closer to the block, just to try to make it all disappear as much as possible. I have two hoses left, right? My vacuum advance and then the hose from the brake booster. Both of those will go back to the back of that sniper. I'm going to make the hose here, and my spark plug wires, they should go under the headers. Now, I've been having problems with the driver's side header. It's off right now. There's a couple spots where the plugs hit. So just about the end of my patience, about to start taking a big hammer to it, but trying to finesse it and figure out how can I get more clearance, right? Whether I shim the header just a little bit. Those are header plugs. Now there's clearance on this side, the other side not so much. Two of them touch. But the main thing is what I'm trying to do is keep it keep this thing as sanitary as possible, clean. I don't want a lot of stuff running around everywhere, and we're going to attempt it. Of course, my airlines are just kind of flopping around right now, but try to keep everything under the header to the back of the engine so we can keep it cleaned up here. Now, like 20 years ago, when I was going, early 2000s, late 90s, when I was hitting a lot of those NSRA shows and checking show cars out and stuff, just looking at the details, seeing what they're doing, kinds of things they're doing. And I still carry some of that today from the show cars. Now, my 65, right? It's patina, whatever. We're gonna enjoy this thing and really rip on it, right? So, not a show truck. However, some show truck things, car things, I've kind of carried throughout the year because, like I said, for me, what I want to accomplish is getting a super clean engine bay, something like that. Some of those tricks, a couple of those tricks I'm going to show you that I caught early on the guys were doing, but kind of like the spark plug wires. People don't think about that. They run them under. Not Corona. Look, here's the thing. A few small tricks. Take your extra time to make it look a little better, right? So that when you pop the hood, it doesn't look like total crap. So, we're not Chip Foose trying to go for that end deal, but just trying to do the best that we can. Anyway, one of my pet peeves is the spark plug wires over the headers, across the valve covers. Let's clean it up. Let's try to keep it looking like that so that when we get our tubs and everything in, it looks cool. All right, now what I'm going to show you is another thing I do to the spark plug wires and to the heater hose bypass. Now this truck, as for right now, and maybe a bad decision, we'll figure it out. I'm not doing heat or air in this truck. I may do a little heater, but for the most part, it doesn't really matter. I have a cool ass dually. I'm gonna haul this thing everywhere. Not that I'm afraid of stuff breaking down, because that's how I learned to work on cars. I always had cheap cars from when I was 18 up, and I had to keep stuff running so I could go to work. And the quickest lessons you'll learn is when you're in the middle of nowhere on an interstate and your hot rod breaks down and you're trying to get it running with whatever you packed in the trunk. And that's where my best and quickest lessons have been that I've learned. So, and I know that tire, if it blows out, I'm not going to take that bed off to change the wheel and tire on the side of a road. I mean, maybe, but that would absolutely suck and require a couple people. I can't get that off by myself. But so anyway, with that said, back to the heat and air comment. I mean, what do I need heat and air for? Just throw on another flannel, you'll be good. All right, to the heater hose, to the spark plug trick, I want to show you. And it may feel like overkill, but again, every little thing that's cleaner will help in your overall presentation at the end of the day. So one of the early things I remember was seeing tires with no nothing on them. Black tires, and it was just smooth black wall. Right, that was probably early 2000s and stuff. And now, not that I would go to that extreme, but it was the one thing that got me looking to details, because then I realized that some of these show cars, they were taking the black lettering off the tire itself, just completely smoothing it out, getting a good clean finish, and it's just not distracting from the rest of the stuff. And that's all I want to do, is don't distract from the rest of the engine. I want it to look good. A few things in my OCDs kicks off, that I learned years ago is what I'm doing now. So, simple hose, right? I'm just doing that bypass hose. What I want to show you is that. So, that kills me. For whatever reason, that little thing, if I go to a show car or something and they got the letters standing up, or the writing, or plug wires, the zip tied together, or even the other brackets, the writing, I don't know, all of that just kind of distracts me. It's not that big a deal, but a couple things that I do that they don't hurt anything, but it just kind of helps my OCD. Like, if I could take the writing off of the fan belts, I would, whatever. So all I'm going to do is remove that. This entire video is for me to show you just pull the writing off. You're killing me. So all I do is I hit it with carb cleaner. And yes, these are made to withstand gas and everything else, right? So your hose isn't going to crack. However, I do a soapy solution after, just to kind of, whatever effects it may have, cuts off of there. May hit one more pass. But I just wipe the writing completely off. Not a big deal. But now, however this hose goes on, it won't crack, it won't dry out because of what I just did. Won't on spark plug wires. But hey, if you're going to clean the writing off your spark plug wires, you may let that dry before you fire it up, in case it's cracked before you start it. But I'm going to put this on in a second, and it doesn't matter how it goes. It's black, right? And to me, that's overall the cool thing about it. It does, the writing and logos and everything else don't distract you from the rest of the thing. So here we go again. Right? I mean, look at all that writing they got on there. Now I think the heater hose, it will come off easier than this. You'll need to make a few passes. Just going to do the top half here for a second. It's actually the coil wire as well. I'm not using it, but just kind of wanted to show you what we're going to do to each of those wires. You see, it's coming off. So writing was out to here. I just pulled it all off. Let's see if I can. Okay. Ah. I'm going to leave it with the end on so you can see. See, a couple more passes. That'll be completely gone. I hit it with my soapy water. No big deal. She's done. The heater hose piece, I actually pre-cut this already. I know exactly, you know, the length I wanted it and everything, and I'll put band clamps on after. It's always important to size your fittings correct, because I think this comes with the water pump comes with a, like a 3/4. It may be, yeah, like 3/4, and then I'm using 5/8. And then I matched up my fittings, so they're both, these are actually both Edelbrock billet fittings. It's just going to be a bypass hose. I'm going to throw some clamps on it. I may cut it a hair shorter and get a little more stretch this way. Depends how I like it looking. This is the other thing that kills me. I don't like seeing the band clamps, which is crazy. I'm going to have to use something on here. Actually, there's some really cool ones, and I'll come up with them. They're like a 60s style Camaro fitting, and they go all the way around like a fuel injection clamp, and has a bolt or a, you know, a screw right in the top of it that screws straight down. It looks really cool. I may do that on these. May end up doing it on these. However, I'm not really digging the you know, stainless radiator hose that street rods have used for 20 years. And honestly, with the overall theme, I kind of want it just black rubber. So I may get this shape, try to find a radiator hose, and Gates make something called like Grip Tight, I think it is. It's a radiator hose clamp. So there's no clamps. It's like a huge piece of heat shrink. You put it on and you heat it down and it grips it. So I think I'm going to end up with that, top and bottom. To me, they'll look a little better. So I'm going to jack with cleaning up all my spark plug wires and getting them ready to go on, and I'll throw those on. And whether today or whatever, I'm still messing with my headers, trying to make clearance. I'm about to take a big hammer to them, so we'll see how that ends up. Thanks for watching.